Alright, I felt really bad about my comparison of the ARacer to the OEM ECU in these bikes, so let's redo it. Now that I played with the OEM ECU a bit. So this is the OEM ECU, and yeah, just done some various changes to things to clean it up. Doesn't do the revvy startup anymore. Settles in nice and calm. Revs good, but doesn't pop when it's doing that. So yeah, let's go ride it. So there, I got some pops on the top end as I rolled on hard. That was because I was up around 9K. Letting that engine break down. Just kind of chugs down to a slow idle. Trying to go hard on the throttle there, then just let off and let it engine break down, because that seems like where you find the most popping for a lot of these. Or when you're hard on the throttle and you go to clutch in, you might hear it. Bike sounds, feels really good. It's normal. I honestly really do like the OEM ECU. But I've been riding this OEM ECU for the last month or so, and I haven't really even used the ARacer, so I think it's time to head home, throw the ARacer in, and just see. I know it sounds a little more angry, but this would be a good comparison for things. I can force some pops still, but I got this tuned to still be somewhat efficient when you're not hard on the throttle. But when you're hard on the throttle, it'll definitely richen things up, and it's just going to create a scenario where you could get popping. I don't want to tune it out completely, because I think it's not beneficial, but it's a byproduct of having a really lean fueling and then being able to get really rich when you need it, which is what EFI is good for. So why take that away from it? Why make it rich across the board? I want this to be a very usable bike. Now we have the ARacer in the bike. Now let's see how she feels. Honestly, haven't used this ECU in a little while. I'm curious if it's going to show any issues right now. Shouldn't. Should just work. So you notice it's a different startup. To me, it has that rumble to it that's just a little more. Definitely more pep to it. And mean, you can even, to me, I can hear it. Sounds good. I mean, you can tell the idle's a little higher. Maybe that's all it is. There we go. So the ARacer, if you let it engine brake all the way down, it'll start popping at the end. Those rich pops. Hey cop, I'm not doing anything wrong. I am good. Not doing any wheelies. No, not me. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do a wheelie. I mean, the ARacer sounds, I think, better. It does sound better than the OEM ECU. You can force some pops if you're engine braking at like a high gear, really low RPM. But you can force some pops with the OEM. The ARacer is a little more peppy off the bottom end. It's got a little more pull. That's, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. It feels a little easier with the ARacer. Like it just pulls a little bit harder down low. Quick recap. OEM ECU feels really good. I know it's really fuel efficient, and I know the ARacer is less fuel efficient, but the ARacer does have a little more pep to it. It's not a huge jump, but you can feel it. It's noticeable. Going from the 4K to 7K range, which is where you ride these bikes most of the time. So it does help for that. I don't... Speaking as someone that's bought one and has it on their bike, I don't know if it's worth the $430 or whatever it is between your... getting the ARacer and getting the actual app. It's a cool thing. It's really cool. Like, you can do full tune of your bike. I'm almost wondering if it might be more beneficial to the new double overhead cam engines that are coming out, like where you might get a little more benefit from that. But in all honesty, the OEM ECU is tuned really decently. It's tuned for fuel efficiency. I changed mine a little bit to be a little more rich and a little different around the map, but it does exactly what it's designed to do really well. And part of that might be where you're going to get some pops because it's trying to go somewhat lean and be fuel efficient. Honestly, I'm going to put the OEM ECU back in because I'm having fun riding it, tuning little things, and changing it just slightly. And each time I use it, I'm starting to like it a little more, to the point where I might actually sell this ARacer. I don't know. It's a cool toy. Maybe I'll keep it. Keep it as a toy. But for now, it works. Does the same thing as the OEM, just it's a little better. It is. Got to admit that.